Hello, everyone. You're listening to the Live Your Raw Life podcast. Welcome to the platform where the intention is to help you live your rich, authentically aligned, wholesome life. I'm your host, Rachel Ann Watkins. Together, let's raise your vibration and awareness in order for you to live the raw life that was meant for you. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Live Your Raw Life podcast. Today's guest is coming to us all the way from Canada. I'm so excited to have her on the show. Alexia Cito is a Tao Hands Practitioner, certified by the Tao Academy, and Global Love, Peace, Harmony Ambassador of the Peace, Love, Harmony Foundation. I have known Alexia for almost a year. Has been amazing to get to know her better. She uplifts and empowers others just by sharing her wisdom, her meditations, and self-healing techniques. You can find Alexia in all sorts of public appearances as well as private consultations, and I'm so excited to have her on the show. Welcome, Alexia.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you, Rachel, and to be on your podcast. I'm so excited.
This is amazing. So Alexia is like you hold such a light. It is hard not to smile anytime I see you. Like we would have, when I worked with the Wealthy Goddess movement, we would have these morning sessions and Alexia would guide us through a blessing and our daily practices. And she just is like so vibrant and alive. And I was just like hanging on every word you said. And so thank you for radiating that. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate those kind words. And especially in those morning practices, because they were pretty intimate. Sometimes you just roll right out of bed, turn on the live, and it's like, okay, guys, we're in our pajamas. We're going to do this together. But we did it. And we did that for like a while, for years, a year and a half at least, doing these daily practices. And it was always such a blessing to be with you and the other women in that incredible container. And I really appreciate, those kind of words, because it's the practice. It is the daily practice, I feel, that has helped me to bring out that soul light more, that light that we all have within us, but that it helps us to cultivate it, to shine it bright, and to, eliminate the pollution that can sometimes cloud that light and cloud others from seeing it so bright as well.
Totally. It's in the practice of getting comfortable with it and acquainted, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
So I learned this just recently in one of our training sessions that we had with the Tao. You have lived and traveled to some absolutely incredible places. Could you share a little bit about like how that happened and a little bit about your background?
Oh, wow. Thank you. So wow. Life has been an incredible journey, discovering Mother Earth. There is so much more to discover. Oh my gosh. But we did start talking about the Wealthy Goddess movement with beloved Vanessa Ferraro, a fellow master teacher of the Tao Academy. And we have traveled quite a bit together as well. We lived in Tulum together in Mexico. I think maybe some people have a connection there. And one of the places that's really near and dear to my heart is India. I lived there for about 5 months on and off over a 2-year period. And it really just completely opened my horizons to the spiritual nature of life and to service. I experienced so much while being there. And it is such a vibrant and incredible country full of culture, full of rich ancient history, bordering Pakistan and China, and being up in the Himalayas, just having some incredible experiences at some monasteries. And it was really like the catalyst for awakening to my spiritual journey in this lifetime, and also for preparing my consciousness and opening my heart to meet my teacher, Dr. and Master Sha, as well. So it was an incredibly awakening experience. And then prior to that, a lot of my travels were within Europe and North America, South America, and just traveling with close girlfriends and really experiencing the world and what it has to offer, and just having a really, really fun time.
How amazing is that?
It honestly is a dream come true. Baby Alexia would not even believe that would be true. Like, it was so far out of my realm, and it was always a dream. And especially in my upbringing, which was very humble upbringing, like that was always a dream. We went camping as a family and did things like that in terms of incredible adventures and exploring Mother Nature locally within Ontario. But it wasn't until I was working on my own and able to really achieve those dreams for myself that I was able to do those kinds of things and explore the world. And it really is life transforming.
Totally. Was that supported by your parents and your family?
I say everything is in some way, because they always are supportive of everything that I do. But I did definitely work for everything. I always joke about how, especially in those first times, I would just work full time. I was working in film and television at the time, and then save all my money and then blow it all on travels. So that was pretty much my cycle that I have, outgrown at this point. But it was, nothing I would ever change for the world.
Yes. But they supported you going and having those adventures.
Yeah, they did. They really did. And there were times, where they want what's best. So, they may say, oh, do you really want to do that? Don't you want to work or do some other thing during that? Don't you want to save for your future? And, those kinds of messages, which are important as well. But ultimately, yes, they always are very, very supportive, and just want to see me and our family happy and fulfilling our greatest potential.
That's so beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you are a certified master teacher of Tao Academy and the global co-director of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation. Okay. I'm hoping you can explain this because, I think this is true for just about anything. We have our own experiences. We have our own lenses that we see through. How do you explain Tao Hands?
How I would explain Tao Hands is that Tao Healing Hands is a spiritual transmission. And when activated, it transforms negative information, energy, and matter to positive information, energy, and matter. And even more simplified is what Dr. Master Sha has been sharing recently as the field law, which is to apply positive field to negative field for transformation.
I love that. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. And then what is the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation for those that don't know?
Yeah. So the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation is a global nonprofit, and we are focused on delivering the message of love, peace, and harmony through the Love, Peace, Harmony Tao calligraphies and the Love, Peace, Harmony song to individuals and communities all around the world to bring healing and transformation. So we actually have hundreds of volunteers working on countless projects worldwide to do this. And it's just incredible. It's so inspiring.
So inspiring and so powerful. I just received a call from my girlfriend last week, and she has some medical stuff. And this is what I told her. I said, download this app and play it in your room every night when you go to bed. Just play it, or in your car or whatever. Just constantly have it on, because it is really, really powerful.
It is. And I love that suggestion because it is that simple. The big way is very simple. This is ancient wisdom. And sometimes when something is so simple, people may even question it, which is important and healthy for us to question things. But I think the most important thing is for people to actually experience it, like you shared with your friend, for themselves. And people may be surprised at how even playing the Love, Peace, Harmony song in their environment can bring great healing and transformation. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of stories around the world of people healing physical conditions, of course, mental and emotional conditions, and so much more. Relationships, bringing harmony, and many environments such as schools, hospitals, long-term residences, and more actually play this song. And it just brings like a calmness and a peace. And of course, speaking about the field law, it brings positive information and a high frequency and vibration that helps to harmonize the environment and create an environment for healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you wow, that like encapsulated it really, really well. I will add a link to the app and the website in the show notes. So those of you that are listening, if you'd like to tune in and take a listen, that's amazing. Thank you. So how were you introduced to the Tao? And like, how did it bring you to where you are now?
Yes, well, it was through our beloved mutual friend and now commercial director of Dr. Master Sha's organizations worldwide, and that is Vanessa Ferraro. And so at the time, she was my Reiki master, and I was studying Reiki and sort of dabbling within expanding my spiritual abilities and healing and service after returning from India back to Toronto, Canada. And within this exploration, I met Vanessa. And so Vanessa introduced me to the Tao, and she said, you know, you may really enjoy this Friday night meditation. Why don't you go check it out? And so at the time, it was really like out there for me to go to a meditation in downtown Toronto on a Friday night. I would definitely usually be doing something else in downtown Toronto on a Friday night. But I found myself at this meditation. And sure enough, I enter this meditation, and it was just those, you know, not sure why I'm here, but I just feel that I should be here and I'm guided and all the things. And Venye Wong, our spiritual teacher, she was there, and she led one of the most powerful love, peace, harmony meditations. And I have shared this before, and I will share it again because it was so profound. Anyone that knows me just knows me that I love unicorns. I just love unicorns. I have loved unicorns since I was a child, and I still love them even more. And some people sometimes even joke and identify me as a unicorn. I believe there are many of us out there. I think you'll know, possibly Rachel, you seem like you could have very unicorn blood within you too. So these unicorns everywhere, right? So anyways, long story short, Venye, in her invocation, in this powerful meditation, she's calling in the angels and the Buddhas and all the spiritual mothers and fathers. And then she says, and the unicorns and the elementals and all of Mother Earth. And I'm like, oh,
this is home.
This is home. Exactly, Rachel. And I just start crying, and they're not sad tears. They're the tears of the heart. They're those uncontrollable tears of recognition, of awakening, of aha, of like, there are no words to express what is moving through me in this moment, tears. And since that day, for about 2.5 years after that, she had never once again invoked the unicorns in her invocation. And I had attended Friday nights almost every week for those following years. So it was her soul wisdom and her channels that she was able to pick on the crowd and who was present and like speak to them simultaneously and have that omnipresence. And it just is an example of her spiritual abilities and connection. And so that was really a profound experience for me. And so since that day, which was many moons ago, I delved deeper into my journey, my practice, different trainings and workshops, and have really integrated the Tao wisdom, healing, blessings into my daily life. And of course, into my service, to humanity.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I want to just quickly take a step back to the unicorns. When we moved last year, we moved into this neighborhood, and our neighbor had unicorns everywhere. He had a unicorn on his back patio. He had stuffed unicorns in the dash of his truck. And finally, one day I was like, okay, what is going on with the unicorns? And he said, well, that was the nickname I got in college because I was a law student, but also a wrestler. So two very opposing like fields, right? Like not anything alike. So my friends called me a unicorn. So yes, unicorns are all around. And that's so incredible. Love that. And it is very clear just in some of the stories that I have heard from Vanessa, who was on episode 82, as well as just through the trainings that I've been through. And you are so immersed.
The Tao is within all of us. And the Tao, for anyone listening, just to clarify, it just represents the ultimate source and creator of everyone and everything, including heaven and Mother Earth, all the countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes, that which cannot be seen, heard, touched, felt, like is so beyond language and what we have compartmentalized as a creator within form and within language and ideation. So it's universal and applicable for all.
And I'd love to add just a great visualization is I downloaded Divine Transformation by Dr. and Master Zhi Gang Sha. And in the beginning chapters, he talks about his really in-depth experience with Tao and how Source really showed him how it works. So it allows this really, like, I believe the gentleman's name in the book that he was working on at the time, his name was Walter. And he was just sharing how he saw the light and it went to his liver and he saw the golden liquid spring. And so it just really paints a really nice picture. For anybody else that's interested, I will also add that link to that book. And I would recommend listening to it because the author reads it. I love books like that.
Yeah, definitely. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that book has a significant amount of transmissions inside, which are permanent transmissions of light to enter your field and essentially offer very powerful remote healing that you can then activate and use to practice with for the rest of your life to transform and self-heal. So I always highly recommend people to purchase these books, to read them, to receive the transmissions, because they're extremely high level. And it's just the greatest gift that they're just in these books. It's like, wow.
Yes. And he even talks about that, how when he gets to the transmissions to pause and get quiet and get centered and just receive. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just at the beginning, but that just made me think of the definition and how to have a picture painted for someone that is a visual learner.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So I took a class last week already or 2 weeks ago when we did the Akashic Record class. Yes, I was a part of that. And that was part of the Tao Academy. They were putting that on, and you had talked about being able to do soul readings and Akashic readings. Could you explain from your lens what that is and what that looks like for you?
Yes, definitely. So as many people are likely aware, and some may not, there are the Akashic Records and the heavenly realms. And these records record absolutely every single deed from all of existence for every soul in existence across all time, space, and dimensions. So if you believe in other incarnations, all lifetimes. And this is speech, thought, actions, everything. And because these are records in the heavenly realms, when one has been granted authority to access these records, we can tap into them for service, for healing, to be able to offer wisdom and guidance, to help people to go deeper, to see what is this challenge, for example, that I'm experiencing in my life? And why is this not transforming? And how do I transform it? What is this connected to? What area of perhaps my ancestry or my lineage, and so much more? It is essentially infinite, the amount of information in the Akashic Records. And with the Tao wisdom and healing, what is so unique, because there are spiritual healers that can access the Akashic Records. You can gain access through, certain spiritual authorities that one may be given. Yet it's really less about what is in them, not less about, it's important what's in them, but just as important is how to transform them. And that is really the key for the Tao healing and wisdom. And also that there are layers. So very early on in my spiritual journey, I always felt like, okay, well, we all have spiritual channels. We all have ability to access the source and connect to the higher realms and receive healing. And I question, why then is there this? But just like on Mother Earth, there are essentially hierarchies. There are realms. There are areas that require specific authority to enter. There are spiritual abilities that require specific authority to actually action in this third dimensional world. So just like, not everybody can just walk up to the White House and enter. It's very similar. There are areas in the spiritual realm where not every single soul has access. And that for me was very humbling and also very inspiring, because I was like, wow, I just want to purify so that we can serve as many souls as possible to access information and spiritual wisdom that can really help bless people's lives and enlightenment journeys, if that's the journey that they choose to be on, or it may simply just be like healing their physical body and transformation. So essentially, that is the Akashic Records, and then that you access it for healing, for transformation, to gain spiritual wisdom, and to share that wisdom to help heal, bless, enlighten, and empower others on their journeys as well.
That does such an amazing job. Thank you for that description, because a lot of times when we work with energy healing and people will tell us, I remember when I was first on my spiritual journey and learning this whole process and didn't know I was learning, but healing and all of the things, someone said, well, this is so great because clearing this with you will also clear this with your ancestors as well as your descendants. And so just really clearing that information, that negative energy and information that's there, that description really makes sense then when you can put it that way. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And what you shared just now is so key. Why is this so key? It is so key because we are actually empowered to create a world of love, peace, and harmony. It is not an ideal. It is not a dream. It is not just this airy-fairy vision. If every single human being on this planet sort of dedicated themselves to this type of transformation, then we can really address so many of the challenges that we're facing on Mother Earth, including within the climate, within political, economical, and more. And when humans actually transform their heart and soul, this can have a profound impact on, like you shared so beautifully in the opening, in humanity, but also in Mother Earth. Mother Earth does not need us to survive, but we do need her to survive. And we are one. And so when we wake up more and more and we devote our lives in whatever way we can to actually living with a heart of compassion, living, thinking about those around us, how to support them to be healthier and happier, especially people in positions of authority who are making decisions that are impacting hundreds of millions of people on the planet, when their hearts begin to open and to purify, that kind of spiritual transformation, which has nothing to do with religion, it's the heart, it's the soul, that can bring profound quantum leaps in humanity and on Mother Earth. And I believe that it's actually extremely possible in our lifetime, sooner than we may comprehend.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. I love you. Oh my goodness. Okay, you hold so much optimism, like, which is so beautiful. A lot of people that surround me do as well. And that was one thing when 2020 hit, was I held hope and optimism, where I think a lot of people were kind of like, what, like just thrown, and this is horrible, this is the worst thing, and just all the negative that can go around it. But I was like, no, this is exactly what we needed. And since then, I've been holding to that. But I get this feeling you've been holding that vision. And like you just said, not even a vision, but you've been striving to help create that deeper and deeper for much longer than 2020.
Yes, definitely since birth, for sure. For sure. And it's been a thread throughout my whole lifetime. And I believe, just like you and just like many of us on Mother Earth, because we do have a purpose and we are here to support others. And, we all have our days, we are human, but we do have a choice. We always have the ability to choose the light, to choose positivity, to choose service to others, to choose all of these things. And of course, there are challenges and there are things that could be looked at as negative, but I believe one of the greatest challenges is actually how much can you spin whatever your circumstances and see it from a place of light, of empowerment, joy, gratitude, and all the things. And you shared that so beautifully. And I'm so grateful for all of the people on Mother Earth that are doing that. And then also empowering those who are suffering, because it is not always easy when we're struggling and, we're suffering to see the light. Especially, I think many of us may have reached a place of this positivity through many challenges and suffering and pain as well. So to have that sort of ability to support others in that, I feel together we can reach a critical mass on Mother Earth, where the frequency and vibration, it's inevitable.
Mm-hmm, it is. And the consciousness is raising, and we are connected, and that's why. So it's beautiful to be here at this time. I love it. It's so exciting. Yeah. So would you be willing to do a blessing or a reading here on the show to give our listeners an idea of what it would be like to have a session with you?
Sure. I would love to do that. Question about this. So would you prefer, is there anything for you in your life that you may like a reading on? Or is there like a specific topic or sort of inquiry, or even a specific heavenly being that you may want the reading from?
Ooh, that's interesting. Lots of good questions. Okay. How about a reading about my soul and business?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Absolutely. Perfect. And is there one more question? Mm-hmm. Is there anything related to your soul and business that you would like to inquire about in terms of like any more details around that?
Yeah.
That you would like addressed?
Yeah. So I've been curious if this is something that's been sitting with me. So I feel like it's true. That there's been past lives, like I've been doing forgiveness practice from the Soul Over Matter book, and tracing the calligraphy and just doing that specifically around my business and my soul and any past life business. But I get this feeling that there has been past lives where my soul has not always been of pure heart in regards to business. And so just like, am I clearing that? Like, I feel like I am, but what does that look like? And does that clarify a little bit?
For sure. It definitely does.
Yeah.
And third question is, are you ready to receive this reading?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. I always ask that before an Akashic record reading, and we'll keep it, what's
Sweet,
the word?
short and sweet.
Short and sweet, because we're on a podcast, and if there's any deeper information, we can also connect offline. Because sometimes some things can come through and it's just like, wow. So, but let's do a short and sweet Akashic record reading for you and your soul and your business, and especially addressing this as well. And what we'll connect to is somebody named Yan Wanye. Yan Wanye is the name of the leader of the Akashic Records in the heavenly realms. So we're going to do a flow from Yan Wanye for you. And for everybody who's listening as well, even though this message is for Rachel, you may pick up on some wisdom or some insights that are applicable for you as the group consciousness, and also the frequency and vibration as the flow, as the message is coming through, is healing. It's like a remote healing session in a way. So it's not just the words that are coming out, but it's also the frequency and the vibration. So everyone can just close their eyes at this time and just open your heart and soul to receive this light, this beautiful transmission as we connect. We connect to divine Tao source, all the spiritual mothers and fathers, connect to the Akashic records and the heavenly realms. We want to deliver a short and sweet message as most appropriate at this time for beloved Rachel, for her inquiry about her business and soul, and about anything that she might be transforming from her Akashic records at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will use the word how to open and close, and how simply just means perfect, get well, peace be with you in Mandarin. And it is sacred open and closing. And I'll actually start with a very short Tao song blessing. And this is, again, a frequency and a vibration that just sort of opens the field. So this is for everyone listening. You can just open your heart and soul to receive, and make a request if there's anything in your life that you would like to bring some light, some love, some healing and transformation. You can make that request in your heart now. Close your eyes, visualize beautiful light. Tao song blessing and Tao reading, Tao soul reading begin. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, yo. Hey ya yo ya, way ya, hey ya yo, hey ya yo ya, way ya, hey ya yo, hey ya yo ya, way ya, hey ya, way ya yo ya, way ya yo. How? This is Yan Wanye. Dearest, beloved Rachel, this is a most important day. It is a new lunar year. It is time to let go. Let go. Let go of negative information in your soul. There is no coincidence you are receiving this on this day, for it has been arranged. You are most blessed. We will address your inquiry. There is information in your books, chapters and chapters and chapters of many lifetimes that you have served with a pure heart to support humanity, plants, animals, children, and even in other galaxies to bring harmony and peace universally. However, there have been lifetimes, especially intergalactic lifetimes in other planetary systems, and 11 generations back on your mother's side that are negatively impacting your flourishing in business, your heart to connect to others. This is because there were wars. There were also decisions made that impacted the lives of millions of souls. It caused great flourishing for you in those lifetimes, but great suffering for the communities around. Your lineage held high regard, but it was not treated with humility and respect, particularly the lifetime 11 generations back. It was in a town, Lituria. This town suffered greatly. There was another lifetime, interplanetary, where the decisions that were made caused great harm and disharmony among different species. It is important to know that you are empowered to transform this information. In fact, by simply receiving this reading, you have already transformed 30%. The remaining percent depends on you, on your transformation, on your practice, on your ability to forgive and be forgiven. Do a forgiveness practice, 30 minutes a day for 90 days, connected to the souls of these lifetimes, as well as the soul of your business and heart and all those connected, and watch the expansion of your business, of your podcast, of your service, and more. It is important that you focus on all the positive lifetimes of great service. You have been a healer in many lifetimes. You have had a spiritual journey that has spanned many traditions and belief systems. And you are empowered in this lifetime to be a great guide for many, a thought leader, someone who holds great regard, cultivates community, and expands light. You are in a powerful path of creating a platform for light beings on Mother Earth to shine. And in that, you, beloved daughter, will shine even brighter. Open your heart. Open your heart. There's also an image on this day of a blooming flower. This is your year to blossom. Your journey, your success, your flourishing and empowerment, financially, physically, and spiritually, is truly just beginning. Know this to be true, beloved daughter. You are most loved and blessed. Yan Wan Ye. How. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Beautiful. So whenever you're ready, you can just open your eyes, everybody, and maybe share how you feel.
Oh, man. Wow. Alexia, thank you. That was incredible. I would love to hear if anybody else felt anything during that or heard or saw. What is so fascinating is this is the first time outside of a class or training that I've ever connected with Alexia. Like, we have never sat down and talked one-on-one. So there's a lot of things about me she doesn't know, just to throw that out there. Because I have talked to numerous other people and they have said very similar things. Like, what was just said about, being a healer for many lifetimes. I just recently heard that. That was something new to me. And so having that affirmed again here. So it's just very, like, those little kinds of things. Wow. And I feel that everything that came through, I feel this is the year. And I feel that the growing, like, I'm watering myself with my self-care practices and practicing the Tao daily. And so now adding that forgiveness practice in every day, like, I can see how that is going to really shift things. And I feel so, I felt my Tao hand actually. Do you get that sometimes? Is that normal?
Absolutely, it is. Yes. Our transmissions have a divine consciousness. And so, we activate them, but sometimes it may just be an activation or a connection, especially connecting to the higher dimensions and realms, kind of that sensation. They just may be sort of activated.
Okay. Yes. And then there was a number of times where you spoke about the galactic connection. And that is one of my goals for 2022, is to connect with my galactic family.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so amazing. That's so funny that it came up. And nobody knows that until, well, now everybody knows that. Written down on my little sheet that nobody sees but me. But now whoever tunes in is going to know this. It's so great because I'm really an open book, and that's fine.
Beautiful. It is. It's always honestly astounding. It's just astounding doing these readings because as we know, like it's not me, Alexia, right? It's just I'm a vehicle and channel. And so when I have the honor and the ability to connect in that way, things come through. And then it's always helpful and really neat to hear that kind of feedback, because it's like, wow, right? Because it's true. Everything is recorded, like everything. So we're never alone. We're always, our prayers, our thoughts, our speech, everything's always being recorded in the heavenly realms. And especially when it's a desire, to connect, our prayers are very much answered. And for you, especially, I felt like when sharing that, it's a great universal service because of the healing that can occur in that connection.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm excited to see where that all goes. Amazing.
Oh.
So I'm curious if somebody is interested in learning more about the Akashic Records, is that class available on, like, is the recording available for purchase?
Yeah. So this is a great question. That it was almost like a pilot launch. And because of the success and the response, we will definitely be doing it again. We are also going to have a Open and Awaken Your Spiritual Channels workshop. And we will be continuing one-on-one Akashic record reading. So if anyone listening is interested in receiving an Akashic record reading with me, you're actually able to do that. So you can visit Next Level Tao on Facebook, on Instagram. Right now, if you go to nextleveltao.com, it's like an opt-in landing page, which you can check out as well. But I would encourage you to like DM us on Instagram or reach out on Facebook. Those are a few of the immediate ways that we can connect and serve you.
Perfect. Yes, that was my next question, is how people can connect with you specifically to get a reading and just, like whatever, or, have a blessing or anything, because you are a master teacher. And so that was one thing I learned in that class, is that's a whole different level. And that's one thing you had brought up before, and not that levels are you're better than, it's just different. Right. And so just to like really touch on that. And I know we're running out of time here. So one last question I love to ask all of my guests: do you feel you're living your rich, authentically aligned, wholesome life?
Oh, I love this question. And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like the most rich life. Oh, it's so funny. This quote, it's such like a silly quote, but it's just so true, is like, it's like loving the life you live and living the life you love. Like, it's just like, yeah, being present with what is. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve others and share this Tao wisdom with the world, and love, peace, and harmony. The message of love, peace, and harmony. I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace, and harmony. Love, peace, and harmony is something that I just want to share for my whole life until the whole world is singing it together. So I feel like totally in alignment. And it's just a really beautiful time as well, that we're connecting on this special day, which at the time of recording this is the Lunar New Year's Day, which is embarking on the year of the water tiger, which is very significant and powerful. And of course, 2022. So like, hello, angel number vibes. So like, this is going to be such a sacred, divine, transformative year. And I'm very much excited to be in it and looking forward to all that is to come within it. And also for anyone, you can also, in addition to Next Level Tao, reach me at Alexia Cito on Instagram. And there are links in the bio for it's always being updated. So any upcoming things, you can also DM, book an Akashic record reading, and all the things. So yes.
Perfect. Thank you. And I will add all of those links in the show notes as well, so it's easy access. Thank you so much, Alexia, for being on today. Thank you for demonstrating a reading here on the show live. I appreciate that. That's like, I think the first time I've ever done that.
Wow. Oh, thank you for the opportunity to share it and for receiving it. And yeah, it's been such a blessing and a privilege to connect more with you. And I'm looking forward to, all that's to come for both of us. And I feel that, and all of us, all the people listening, of course, as well. And I feel, this is the start of something very beautiful. So thank you for the honor to be on your show. It's just so beautiful. The rich authenticity and the message and all that you bring. And I just really want to honor you and appreciate you for that. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being on.
Heal yourself, heal the world. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are listening on YouTube or any other podcast platform, I greatly appreciate your support. If something in this episode resonated with you, please like and subscribe to the Live Your Raw Life channel or podcast and leave a review while you're there. Your time, energy, and support is greatly appreciated. Sending light, love, and positive energy your way. We'll see you next week.